Hey everybody, I want to talk about a movie I saw called Superfly. Superfly was a movie directed by a guy named Director X and starred a guy named, what's his name, Trevor Jackson. Trevor Jackson played Youngblood Priest. This movie was basically about Youngblood Priest, a drug dealer, I don't know what you want to say, kingpin, higher up guy, pretty on top of the game. Basically surviving a violent encounter and deciding it's time to get out of the drug game. It's a remake of a 1972 movie, actually, a movie from the blaxploitation movement, which is a lot more over the top, a lot more ridiculous. This movie was very stylish, very slick, very quick moving, never really slowed down, never really had any moments or times during it which were boring, or it kept the pace going. That's a good thing I can say about it. That the movie was well edited, I'd say. Editing was pretty good. It was conventional. It wasn't really anything outside the box, but it was well paced, which to me is a big part of editing. But it also involves the script. Your pacing and your script are kind of interconnected a little bit. And the script I thought also was okay. It wasn't amazing, like I said, but it was decent. There were some good lines, especially toward the beginning. I liked some of the little soliloquies that Youngblood Priest had. Well, they call him Priest. Youngblood doesn't come up, so I'll call him Priest. That Priest gave you a sense of who he was, kind of, and then you start to learn more about him as it goes on. It was to give you some more of the negatives about it that I thought. Like I said, it was this movie was fine. That's what I'll say. It was fine, but it was hard throughout the movie to root for Priest, because even though he's got these problems he's got to deal with, and you like him as a character, he's a likable guy personality-wise, it's hard for me the whole time. This guy is a drug dealer. He is a violent man, basically making his wealth, he wants to get out of the drug game and retire to basically live the rest of his days with the money he's made from drug dealing, which throughout the whole thing, even if you like him personality-wise, you kind of don't want him to succeed, or at least I didn't. Part of me just was like, well, no, he should probably get caught. I understand everybody else is corrupt too, but that doesn't make his actions better. It has some cops in it that basically use their position to extort him for money. They know who he is, so they demand payment from him. And you're like, yeah, okay, sure, I get it. There's corruption all over the place. Cops aren't necessarily good too. That doesn't justify his actions or the way he's made his money. And so throughout the movie, I kind of wanted him to get caught. And spoilers here. Spoilers for the next couple seconds, maybe the rest of the time. I don't know. I'm just going to say spoilers. When at the end, spoilers, he and his woman, his lady love, are on a yacht in the middle of the ocean, I don't know, just relaxing. It was kind of I didn't really feel victorious with the character. I was like, oh, okay, so now he gets to live the rest of his days without any comeuppance for his actions. The motivation for any drama in any kind of movie or any kind of story, really, comes from the fact that you like a character and want them to succeed in whatever you want them to overcome the odds that they're facing. And while Superfly, I think, got it right when you like the character, he was a cool guy. He had this set of rules that he lived by, or at least this style that he lived by, and you liked him because of it. But I didn't really want him to succeed. I kind of wanted him to get caught. The movie tried to comment on some social topics, and it did a little bit. Tried to talk about the biggest deal, I think, the biggest thing that I tried to talk about was police brutality and police corruption. And it commented a little bit, but not really to the extent where it felt like it said anything interesting. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but or if I'm making any sense. But it kind of came to the surface of it. But its goal the whole time was just, hey, this guy needs to succeed. If you want justice, if you're trying to point out the fact that cops are not just, that they're not doing what they should be doing, that there's no that you're supposed to be you're supposed to share in the victory at the end when the cops they get caught and they get the comeuppance. You should also want justice for those against those who are breaking the law as well. When justice is only applied to one side of the argument, then it's not justice anymore, it's just one person's bias. So, this movie, when only the cops get caught for what they did, and the drug dealer, the one living a violent life, and something that is not shown is the consequences of the drug dealing world, of the people, the addiction that they're causing, the addiction that they're fueling, that they're profiting off of. When you don't get to see the actual consequences of those actions, it kind of takes away from the fact that this man is not just like a businessman, he's a violent criminal businessman. So Superfly didn't really succeed, I think, in what it attempted to do. It was very stylish looking. It had a slick kind of visual presentation. Like I said, well paced, in my opinion. But a piece of art generally needs to do more than just look nice, in my opinion. It needs to say something, or at least do that look nice in a unique way, or a way that rises above just being adequate. And I think Superfly was adequate in how it looked and failed in its commentary on social norms or social situations. So overall, it was okay. It wasn't great. This is something for a recommendation. I really wouldn't recommend going to movie theater to see it. It doesn't really need it. You don't really need to see it on a big screen. There's basically one action scene that takes place. There's shootouts and stuff, but they're very quick. It's one prolonged chase scene that was also very strange to watch. It felt like it was filmed differently, or maybe had a different director or something, and the camera quality seemed to drop. It kind of felt out of place in a movie where the main character is supposed to be this controlled. Chaos is out of his wheelhouse. And so when that happens, when this car chase is happening, it just felt out of place. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about seeing it. It'll probably be on Netflix in not too long. Watch it on there if you have it, or one of those. It's a red box movie. I'd say it's worth watching if you read a description of this movie and it sounds appealing, then it's probably worth watching. But sometimes there are movies that don't sound appealing and you should watch anyway. This is not one of those movies. That's what I have for you. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.